Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahar Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Right. This is Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, talking about the children of Israel, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. That's Moses speaking. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great who hath the Most High so nigh unto them, as the Lord our power is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that hath statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself, so your own nation, and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons. Right? Especially the day that thou stoodest before the Lord thy power in Horeb, when the Lord said unto me, gather me the people together, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me all the days that they shall live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children. And ye came near and stood under the mountain, and the mountain burnt with fire unto the midst of heaven, with darkness, clouds, and thick darkness. And the Lord spake unto you out of the midst of the fire. Ye heard the voice of the words, but saw no similitude, only ye heard a voice. And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone. And the Lord commanded me that at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go over to possess it. Right? And going up to Deuteronomy 4 and 12, where it says, and the Lord spake unto you out of the midst of the fire. That's actually a chariot, right? What the scripture calls a chariot, which the world ignorantly calls UFOs, right? So this is to prove that. This is Psalms 104, and I start at the top. Bless the Lord, O my soul, O Lord my power. Thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as with a garment, who stretchest out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the water, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire, right? But the point is in 3, where it says, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariots, right? So maketh the clouds his vehicles, but they're not actually clouds holding water. They're clouds of talking about vehicles, talking about the chariots, talking about so-called UFOs, right? And this is Psalms 68 and 17. The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels, and the Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. Right? So there's a big multitude, right? Many chariots. That's why there's different sightings of chariots or so-called UFOs, and they look different all the time, right? Get some more examples. Because what? Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, he's coming back with the chariot, right? Because it says right here, it says, who maketh the clouds his chariot. So who's about to make the clouds his chariot now? Let me get this one first. This is Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Guess what? Yahweh said, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I got it right here. Matthew 10:34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. Right? So what? Isaiah 66:15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. Right? And get this one. This is Matthew 24 and 30. I'll start at 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, which is going to be Jacob's trouble, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from the earth, from the heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So he's not going to be on a weak ass, you fly through cloud when you go in an airplane. No, it's going to be an actual chariot, right? You might still be able to fly through it, because what? You can have chariots. They're coming from the fourth dimension. You can't, what's it? The second heaven, if I'm saying that right. Or the Salakia. But they're coming from a whole different dimension. They're coming from a whole different place. Their technology is way above Esau, right? So you could just phase through a chair and not even know it's there. Probably do it all the time, right? But the elect are gonna be on one of those chariots and gonna be redeemed, right? And I want to get Matthew 26 and 64. Yahweh said unto him, Thou hast said, nevertheless, I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power, and coming in the clouds of heaven. Right? The clouds of heaven, not the clouds of the earth. Right? There's a difference. The same thing is said in Mark. I'll get it real quick. Mark 13 and 26. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. Matthew 14 and 62. And Yahushua said, I am, and ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. Right? I'm going to go up one. It says, I'm going to go Mark 14 and 60. And the high priest stood up in the midst and asked Yahushua, saying, Answerest thou nothing? What is it which these witness against thee? But he held his peace and answered nothing. Again the high priest asked him and said unto him, Art thou the Hamashiach, the son of the blessed? And Yahushua said, I am. And ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. Right? So that's what he's coming back to do. So now, who's going to be up there? Who's going to be redeemed in those times, right? Well, the elect. We all know the elect, the 144,000, Revelation 7, right? But this is 1 Thessalonians 4 and 17. No, I started 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High. and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first, right? That's why they're going to be on the chariot first, right? That's powerful. I just got goosebumps. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, right? Not no soft ass water cloud, right? To meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. So it's not going to meet him and be like, oh, strap in, sit down in the seat, turbulence and all. No, it's not going to be like that. But, wherefore comfort one another with these words, because that's why we're doing this work, to be redeemed before the destruction of this place, America, which is Babylon the Great. And I gotta go somewhere pretty soon, so I'm gonna end this real soon. I just want to bring this out. This is Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Not everybody sees the same cloud. That don't make sense, So it's a cloud from another world that's coming from a different dimension that everybody's gonna see, right? And every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, right? Talking about reincarnation, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. And they're going well because of what? Isaiah 66:15, right? I got some in that Apocrypha too. Second Ezra 15 and 34. Actually, no, it's see. Yeah, I won't go. Yeah, Second Ezra 15 and 40. The great and mighty clouds shall be lifted up full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place a horrible star, fire and hail, and flying swords, and many waters, that all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the cities, and walls, mountains, and hills, trees of the wood, and grass of the meadows, and their corn. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon, and make her afraid, which is America. Right? See what time it is. Okay, we're good. And Second Ezra 15 got a lot of prophecies, right? Mostly about this destruction that's coming. The sword, famine, death, and destruction. And Wisdom of Solomon is the last one I'm going to get. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 20. His severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise, right? Because what? The earth is on the side of the righteous. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds as from a well-drawn bow shall they fly to the mark, right? So um, actually, I'm gonna start Wisdom of Solomon 5:14. For the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with the tempest, and passed away as the remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. He shall take to them his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon. For the revenge of his enemies he shall put on righteousness as a breastplate, and true judgment instead of an helmet. He shall take holiness for an invincible shield. His severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow, shall they fly to the mark. Right? Um, and I'm gonna, okay. And this is talking about those that are going to be in those chariots at the end. It says, um, 2nd Ezra 2:42. I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them was a young man, Yahushua, of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. And I want to get another one that okay, right here. This is Luke chapter 21, verse 26. Men's hearts fell in them for fear. That's when they see these chariots. And for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So that these chariots are a redemption, right? The elected, the nation of Israel, the Negro, Latino, and Native American. And that's just the truth about these so-called UFOs according to the Bible. So I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh in the name, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai.